is the number one thing that I do to slash my grocery bill. Backed by popular demand, this is how to save money on groceries. This person wants to temporarily cut their grocery bill by more than half, and that sounds incredibly high, but I have people in my comments regularly saying that my methods have saved them hundreds of dollars a month. So hit that follow button because this is a series you're not gonna wanna miss. Here's the tip. Let things run out. The less you buy, the less you waste, and the less money you will spend. I'm not talking about your staples like milk and eggs, but you will be okay if you do not have all of your favorite foods all of the time. Your kids will survive if they don't have crackers and granola bars in their lunchbox for 3 days. When I buy cereal, I buy the 3 for $10 at Walmart. But a weekend when we run out of Rice Krispies, do I go buy more Rice Krispies? No, I wait until all 3 boxes are gone. And if 4 days before grocery day, we have no cereal left, we eat oatmeal or toast or yogurt. And if we have none of those, I make a batch of muffins. It will be okay. And it forces you to get through all that stuff in the back of your cupboard that's probably gonna go stale. Spaghetti sauce will taste just the same on your macaroni noodles. You run out of apples, oranges are fine. You're out of olive oil, canola will do. Brown sugar subs for white sugar. Apple cider vinegar instead of white vinegar. You see where I'm going here. We use what we have, and you probably have something, and it'll be fine. So let things run out. Okay, that's it. Have a good day.
Let's be real. Food prices are climbing, and your grocery bill can sneak up faster than a late-night snack craving. But here's the truth. You don't have to overspend to eat well. In today's episode of Profit Pulse, we're breaking down how to budget for groceries and food without giving up quality, taste, or your sanity. You'll learn how to plan smarter, shop strategically, and save big on one of the biggest expenses in your monthly budget. Because every dollar saved at the store is a dollar that can work harder for your financial goals. This is Profit Pulse, where smart money habits meet real life.
If you want to stop spending so much money on food every single month, there's one thing that you have to do. It's going to sound a little obvious, but trust me, this is more common than you think. And I know that a lot of you are going to watch this and realize that you absolutely do this. I'm Paige. I'm the founder of Overcoming Overspending. I help you stop impulse shopping and overspending. Food is definitely the category that I feel people come to me and they're like, I need so much help in this area in terms of overspending. And trust me, it's the area I struggle with the most as well. My husband and I went through a phase where we were eating out every single meal, almost 5 to 7 days a week. We were spending so much money eating out. And then we were able to drastically switch that, and we didn't eat out a single time for 4 months. Now, I'm going to be giving you more tips of how we did that and what was most helpful in a video that I'm going to post tomorrow. But for now, here is the one thing that you have to stop doing. You have to start being honest with yourself, and you have to stop double dipping. Here is what I mean. I think so many of us think that the thing that we should be doing is we should be eating at home. We think that we should be cooking our own meals and eating at home because that's what's most cost effective. But I honestly think what's most cost effective really depends per person and per situation. I think that if you have a family of 5, cooking at home definitely might be the most cost effective option. I think that if you are single and you're just eating for you and you have a really busy schedule, eating at home might not be the most cost effective option, especially with inflation and the cost of groceries right now. I think there's also definitely a factor of what is your time worth. And if you want to take the extra time that comes with cooking your meals at home from shopping and preparing and cleaning, or if you want to save yourself that time from not having to do all of that from eating out. But I say that because I think the idea that most of us have in our head is that we should be eating at home because that's the most financially responsible thing to do. What a lot of us do is on Sunday, we will go to the grocery store and we will buy a week's worth of groceries for meals that we promise ourselves that we are going to cook and eat at home. But really when it comes down to it, we just prefer eating out. It works better with our schedules. It works better with our lifestyles. So although we said we were going to eat in, that's not what ends up happening. So this is what I mean by double dipping. You are spending a ton of money on groceries, but you are also spending a ton of money eating out. And one of the best things that a lot of you can do is just pick a side and just go into a week being honest with yourself. I think that change is possible, and I think that you can absolutely get yourself to a point where you're eating out a ton to where you're not eating out a ton. But oftentimes those changes do not happen overnight. It takes a gradual increase to get there. But we get trapped in the all or nothing thinking. We think, okay, I'm eating out 5 nights a week now, and next week I'm only going to eat out 1 night a week. So we go and spend a ton of money on groceries, and then we still end up eating out 5 nights a week. I think for a lot of you, if you can just go into a week being honest with yourself, being realistic about your situation and most likely what's going to happen, you will save yourself so much money. Pick where you want your money to go. Do you want your money to go to groceries or do you want your money to go to eating out? And it doesn't mean it all has to be one or the other. It certainly can be a mix. It just means that it's not going to both for overlapping meals. We're not buying groceries for a meal that ultimately we end up eating out. I know this tip seems a little obvious, but I'm telling you, when I get my clients just to be honest, to be realistic, and to decide ahead of time, like most likely what's going to happen, they end up saving themselves so much money on food. So again, tomorrow I'll be posting a video about if you do have a desire to eat more at home, what was most helpful for us to do that. In the meantime, I invite you to come join my community. You can do that by giving me a follow and also go to my profile, start with all of my free resources. I have a free masterclass that's called Why You Impulse Shop and How to Stop. I also have a podcast with well over 100 episodes that you can start listening to. It's called the Money Love Podcast, and you can find it anywhere that you listen to your podcasts. All right, y'all, I love you. I will see you in the next video.
I'm Frugal, and here are things I do to easily save $10,000 a year, food edition. In fact, if you just save $27.40 a day, that's $10,000 a year. Let's go. I make all of my own drinks at home, even those fancy iced drinks. I can control the sugar intake and ingredients. There's no plastic container or straw, which is better for the planet and aligns perfectly with my eco-friendly values. I make my own breads and snacks in general. The house smells amazing. They're so much fresher and tastier than store-bought. Making it ourselves saves a fortune, and they disappear so fast when we have them. I don't buy pre-cut or pre-washed veggies. I'm fortunate enough to have a small garden space, and it produces so much food, fresh, organic, and truly zero waste. I cook almost all of our meals from scratch. It's healthier, and I always make sure to have leftovers for lunches, less food waste, more savings. When we want to eat out, we found what we really crave is a change of scenery. So instead of restaurants, we go on picnics. It perfectly fills that void, and being surrounded by greenery helps us relax from our busy lives. What's one food-related habit you've changed that has saved you a lot of money?
Groceries are so expensive right now, you don't need a pantry. You need a time machine back to the Great Depression. Listen, at this point, if you don't have what I call a Depression-era pantry, you are setting yourself up for failure. And I know some of y'all are like, what's that? I wasn't even alive back then. Don't worry, I got you. A Depression-era pantry is about survival with style. It's budget-friendly, non-perishable items that will ensure you never go hungry. Flour, cornmeal, rice, dried beans, oats, pasta, molasses, cocoa, peanut butter, canned fruits and vegetables, canned meat, lard, vinegar, salt, sugar, and spices. You know, this is all the stuff your grandmama could take and make 20 meals out of it and continue to feed the family over and over again. See, most Americans, y'all got really addicted to living high on the hog, like little mini Rockefellers, right? Eating fresh salmon on a Wednesday night, sipping cold brew like water. Let's keep it all the way a buck. See, you were never rich. You just had enough credit cards and cheap prices so you could pretend. And now that runway is gone. So here's the irony for me. The same folks, right, that used to laugh at grandma's struggle meals are about to be Googling how to make biscuits from bacon grease and molasses. And honestly, it's not even shameful. For real, it's smart. Because the truth is, prices are not done climbing yet. We have not hit the peak. So either you build yourself a Depression-era pantry right now, or you're going to be out here paying $15 for a bag of rice like it's a luxury handbag. Because at the end of the day, y'all, survival is not about flexing. It's about preparing. And the most American thing you can do right now, learn how to make it work no matter what. That was just like they did back then.
My husband and I have a budget of $80 a week for two for all of our groceries. One of the most common questions I get on my grocery shopping videos is how I go about planning these and how long that takes me. So I thought I'd take you guys with me because it's Saturday and it's time to do my meal plan. I plan all of this in a tab in Notion. I do my grocery list up top, and then at the bottom, I sort all of my meals by protein and type of cuisine. I think variety is really the thing that helps you stick to your meal plan. I plan out all of our weekly dinners to serve at least 4 because we pack leftovers for lunch the next day. Part of that's cost effective because things like deli meat are so expensive. And then part of it is just that I don't want to cook or prep anything else. Like I want to cook once a day and be done with it. And then breakfast is kind of grab and go. We don't like sit down together and eat breakfast. Sometimes I'll have cereal, yogurt. I make overnight oats. We have fruit, eggs. Like it's just kind of up to the individual what you want to do when you want to do it. That being said, I need to find out where to shop this week. I also need to plan out all of my dinners, and I need to check my calendar to make sure that there's nothing going on one night because I've done that a lot where like we have a prior engagement and I didn't realize, so then I plan a dinner and then we don't need dinner. Okay, I'm glad I just checked because we're going up to the lake with some friends, so I don't need dinner Sunday night. I think I'm gonna do Meijer this week because I saw their weekly ad. They also have a buy 5, save 5 sale where you can mix and match sale items and get an additional $5 off if you buy 5 of them. I think that's a really good deal, so I'm gonna plan around going to Meijer. I also try to go through all of my leftovers and make sure there's nothing that I don't need to use up from previous weeks. I actually don't have a lot this week, but I do have tomato sauce. If you saw in my cooking video from a couple weeks ago, I opened a huge can of tomatoes, and so I'm still working through that. And then I have pickled red onions, but honestly, we're a little scarce, so I don't have a lot of pantry items to go off of. And I know I definitely need butter this week, and I definitely need more flour. Okay, I think I picked my first 5 for $5 deal. I don't know how many of these I'm gonna do, but they have little potatoes, and I think it's a 3-pound bag. It's already on sale for $2.99, which is really good. 3 pounds of potatoes for $3, but then final price $1.99 if I can buy 5 items off of this list. So I'm gonna get a 3-pound bag of little potatoes. I'm definitely gonna get chicken broth. Pepperoni's on sale. I kind of want to do a pepperoni hot honey burrata pizza. I've been on it like homemade pizza kick, so I think we'll probably do that. And then ground turkey is $2.99, which is really good. And paired with that chicken broth, I think what we can do is make this Thai, I have to think of the name of it, but there's like this spicy Thai red curry soup that I make with like these little turkey or chicken meatballs. It's really good with rice. It's an easy weeknight dish. I think I'm gonna make that. Then for my final item, I think I'm gonna get Daisy cottage cheese. It's down to $2.39, and I think we can blend that up and then mix it with flour and baking soda like I do with yogurt to make flatbread. Okay, we definitely want to do the hot honey pizzas. I already have the pepperoni. We need burrata, and then I think I need more honey too. I need to check something because I think I have a little bit more cheese and I might not even need to buy mozzarella. Okay, yeah, I have some Parmesan, and the burrata's gonna go on top of the pizza, so it's not like it needs tons of cheese on the pizza while it bakes. So I think I'm just gonna use the rest of this. How I know I'm doing good with meal planning is if this column is really colorful, because I try to make all of these tags different colors, and then that way I feel like we're getting a variety of food, protein, different cuisines, stuff like that. And then I want to look through the ad and see what meat is on sale because that will help me decide what I do for the rest of the dinners. Chicken breast is $2.49 a pound in family packs, which would mean probably about 3-4 pounds in a pack. That's $10 max for like 3 to 4 pounds of chicken, which would definitely get us 2 meals plus leftovers. Okay, so I think let's do boneless, skinless chicken breast, and we need 2 nights of chicken dinners. There's definitely some non-negotiables I buy every week. That's eggs, milk, and bananas, so I'm gonna add those to my list. And then I saw that apples are on sale, which makes sense because it's almost September, so it's apple season. So I'm gonna add bulk rave apples. I've never had a rave apple. I wonder what that tastes like. We try to do at least 1 vegetarian meal a week, and it looks like locally grown squash and zucchini are on sale. I really loved zucchini parm last time I made it. Normally I make it with eggplant parm, but I posted a video a few weeks ago when I tried it with zucchini, and it was so good. And then I think that'll be like the last of the tomato sauce between that and the pizzas. So I'm gonna go ahead and add maybe 2 pounds of zucchini to my list. And maybe let's serve that over pasta. I need 3 more nights worth of protein, and then I can start to build the rest of my meals. Didn't find any protein on sale, which is fine because I think I'm just gonna look at what's available on their website, but corn is on sale 5 for $2. I definitely wanna get some. Maybe we can make some elote. I definitely have mayo, I have tahini, so I think the only other thing would be the cheese to put on it. So let me look up what is traditionally used in elote, and then I'll add that to my list. Okay, I'm gonna add queso fresco, and I do have some limes left over because I bought a bag last week, so that should take care of the elote. I feel like with elote, I want something like shredded beef over rice or tacos or burritos, so let me look at what stew meat's available and see if I can do anything that's big enough to get us through 2 nights. We're actually pretty busy on Wednesday, so if I make something Tuesday and then can reuse the leftovers for dinner on Wednesday, that would be perfect. Chuck roasts are $20, but with the chicken being so cheap and us doing vegetarian at least 1 night, I think we can do that. So let's do Tuesday, stewed beef, maybe a barbacoa over rice. I bought that 25-pound bag of rice, so I don't need to buy rice for the rest of the year. I'm reading a recipe right now for barbacoa, and it looks like I have a lot of the stuff because I bought that bag of onions, I have limes, I have oregano, cumin, cloves, bay leaves, apple cider vinegar. I'm just gonna sub out distilled vinegar because I don't have apple cider vinegar. I think the only 2 things I wouldn't have besides the chuck roast would be chipotles and adobo sauce and diced green chili, so that's an easy win. Let's add cilantro because my husband loves cilantro, then chipotle peppers and diced green chilies. And you know what? I bought corn tortillas last week, and it comes in a 30 pack, and we don't use all 30, so maybe I'll cut some up and use that to make tortilla chips, and then we could do nachos the next day. Maybe I need to buy cheese, and maybe the next day we'll make quesadillas out of them. Okay, yeah, let's use the leftovers the next day to make quesadillas. I'm gonna do beef quesadillas. Then I feel like I need a light vegetable with that because we had elote the previous day, and elote is good, but it's pretty heavy. Maybe I'll get some romaine lettuce and put a little queso fresco on top and some lime. Make like a homemade light vinaigrette. Let's do salads. You know what? That only leaves Friday and Saturday, so let's maybe split the chicken dinners up and put the vegetarian zucchini parm in the middle. So maybe we'll do that Friday. Hold up. Okay, we actually have ground turkey, so I don't even need to buy a family pack of chicken. I just need a little bit of chicken. Maybe let's do like a small $5 thing of chicken breasts. And then the other night we're gonna do turkey, and let me see what I need for the Thai soup I was gonna make. So it looks like I need green onions, bok choy, Thai red curry paste, can of coconut milk, and some rice noodles, so let's add that. And all that's left to do is just look for a chicken recipe. And I'm leaning towards these Naked Nashville hot chicken tenders because I already have potatoes, and it looks like they're serving them over potatoes with dill pickle fries. Yeah, that sounds really good. So maybe we'll make this. Let me look at the ingredients. I would need chicken breasts. I have that. I need buffalo sauce or hot sauce. I have that. I have potatoes. I think all we need for this is maybe pickles. Yeah, I think we can make this super simply. I think all we need is pickles and then we're done. Maybe I'll pick up a packet of ranch dressing mix because I love ranch with that. I think we're done. Here's my weekly dinners. That took me maybe 45 minutes to plan, and I'm glad I did. Sunday, we're doing a lake day. Monday, we're having hot honey pepperoni burrata pizzas. Gosh, that's a mouthful. Tuesday, we're gonna do barbacoa bowls and elote. Wednesday, we're gonna use the leftovers to make beef quesadillas and salads. Thursday, I'm making turkey cow soy. Friday, I'm making zucchini parm and pasta. And then Saturday, we're gonna have Nashville hot chicken, naked tenders, and dill potatoes. If you're interested in budgeting and earning tips, cheap dinners, anything like that, I have a new newsletter that I just started, and the first volume's coming out this Monday, so you can subscribe in my bio. Thanks for planning with me, and I'll see you guys next time.
Most people don't realize that the biggest thing breaking their budget is not avocado toast or subscriptions, it's actually groceries. So here are my 8 best tips to reduce your grocery bill in 2025. Number 1, before you shop, you need to clear out your fridge. Everyone knows how expensive the cost of living is, and if you're throwing food away, you're literally throwing dollars away. Number 2 is once your fridge is cleared out, make a list of the big high-ticket items that are left over. Write them all down and then make a plan as to what they're going to be used for that week. Number 3 is plan your meals for the week so everyone in the household knows what's going on. Number 4 is to set pantry staples. This stops your pantry being cluttered with half packets of pasta and rice everywhere. Choose your favorites, stick to them, and top them up only when they get low. Number 5 is to set a budget and hold yourself accountable to it. Many people will say that they only spend $150 on groceries and spend double that on top-up shops during the week. This was my biggest mistake when I started budgeting. Hold yourself accountable to your top-ups during the week by tracking them. Another great way to hold yourself accountable is to take out your budget in cash. We take out $200 at the start of the week, and that's all we're allowed to spend on grocery. Number 7 is to shop around for the best deals in your area. We find that Aldi and our local market are the best in our area, but figure out what works for you. Number 8 is to make sure that you have your week planned so that you don't overbuy. If you're going out for dinner 2 nights, don't buy 7 nights worth of dinners because you'll end up throwing stuff away. Anyway, let me know your best tips in the comments.
Listen, if you want to eat out every single day, every single meal, do it. Okay? Just do it. It's fine. I promise you, it's fine. But do not, for the love of God, you've got to stop going to the grocery store every week, buying a week's worth of groceries, telling yourself, this is the week. I'm going to be good this week. I'm going to be good. I'm going to cook at home. I'm going to make all these meals. And then you know you're not going to do that. Like, you know that that's not happening. Stop shooting yourself in the foot twice. Number 1 category that I always hear from people that they overspend in is food. Without a doubt, it's food. All day, every day. Women are like, Paige, I'm spending way too much on food. I'm spending an ungodly amount on food. And I get it. Things are really expensive. Inflation. Stuff has never been more expensive than it is now. And is that a factor? Absolutely, yes. But also, when we start taking a closer look at things, I'm like, okay. We go to the grocery store every week. We buy a week's worth of groceries. We eat out every single meal. Then at the end of the week, we throw away said groceries that we didn't eat. And then we just repeat that cycle over and over and over. And honestly, you would save yourself so much money if you would just get honest with yourself about the fact that right now you're just in a season, or it's easier or it's more convenient for you just to eat out all the time. And you just stopped going to the grocery store, or you literally just got like the bare minimum things at the grocery store. And truthfully, I am honestly at a point with how expensive things are and how much groceries cost that for some of you, depending on just your lifestyle, how many people you're buying for, how many people you're cooking for, what your time is worth, eating out actually might be the most cost-efficient option for you at this point. But I think that's the thing. That's the advice you're always going to hear, is that if you want to save money, you got to stop eating out. If you want to be financially responsible, you got to cook at home. And sure, yes, for a lot of situations, like that is the more cost-effective option, but it's not that simple a lot of the times. It's not black and white in a lot of situations like that. It's convenience. It's how much your time is worth. It's how many people am I cooking for? It's what type of food am I eating? But don't just be doing something because that's what you feel like you need to be doing, i.e. cooking at home every single meal, never eating out, never going out. Because if you're in a season right now where it just makes more financial sense to eat out every single meal, eat out every single meal. But again, don't be shooting yourself in the foot twice by eating out every single meal and also buying a week's worth of groceries every week, okay? I feel like this was a PSA that we all needed to hear. Thank you.
Remember, budgeting for groceries isn't about restriction, it's about direction. When you plan with purpose, you spend less, waste less, and stress less. If this video helped you rethink your grocery game, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who's trying to stretch their food budget too. We're building wealth one smart decision at a time, starting right in the kitchen. Stay smart, stay steady, stay profitable.